This is Vaquero News. Good morning, Vaqueros. Coming to you live from the Edinburgh studio, I'm Jerry Galindo.
And I'm Samantha Garza. We hope you enjoyed your long weekend. Coming up first, Victor Rivero reports on the de-escalation of what the internet has called War World 3.
Following the bombing of the United States military located in Iraq, the tension between the U.S. and Iran appears to be settling. The U.S. Department of Defense released a statement evaluating a precautionary response to the missile strikes on U.S. present military bases in Iraq on January 7th. In a statement captured by New York Times, President Trump announces that Iran is de-escalating their threats after Iran's missile strike.
Iran appears to be standing down. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime.
The U.S. Department of State highlighted President Trump's statements on January 8th on welcoming peace to Iranians who seek it and embracing a future of prosperity to Iran. Political science professor at UTRGV, Nicholas Kiersey, believes that the bombing was a theatrical response.
I think Trump climbing down like that, and obviously the fact that Iran didn't kill anyone, is a massive indication of the intention of both parties at this stage. It's just a kind of a theatrical response, really, more than anything.
The U.S. Department of State informed that the U.S. nevertheless will be severing funds to several Iranian leaders in order to destabilize Iranian's military economy. Political science professor at UTRGV, Charles Olney, believes that the U.S. is sending mixed messages to European allies.
And U.S. allies in Europe and other places may feel that the U.S. is playing a role that's increasing the risk of conflict.
With mixed messages from the government, we are to see if a war tension between Iran and the U.S. is to rise again. One thing appears to be clear: none of the countries want a war. This is Victor Rivero for Vaquero News.
UTRGV's Counseling Center will start a body positivity program in February. Samantha Garza reports.
UTRGV's Counseling Center will begin the fourth week of Body Project sessions in February. The Body Project is a body positive program where anybody who identifies as female can come together to challenge society's body norms. UTRGV's clinical therapist and Body Project supervisor, Valerie Riveros, explains what each session consists of.
And so it compiles a small group of women that can come together to discuss different types of views that people may have about their bodies, right? And we want to be able to integrate healthier views.
Each session is led by trained peer facilitators who have already gone through the program. Body Project peer facilitator Stephanie Pinales says that although the program is not an intervention, it does help prevent eating disorders.
In the 3 years post going through the program, girls tend to decrease any possibility of an eating disorder.
Peer facilitator Ana Gracia explains that the group becomes more than just a counseling session.
Really cool. You make friends. You don't just kind of, I'm going to share my story with you and then, okay, bye, see ya. Like, no, it's not like that. You keep in contact with them.
Maria Peña, also a peer facilitator, expresses that the group becomes so united that they can rely on each other.
We all have a shoulder to cry on.
The Body Project team is located on both Edinburgh and Brownsville campuses. The team meets 1 hour for each week for 4 weeks. For more information on how to become part of the Body Project team, visit their Instagram page at UTRGV Counseling Center or visit them at the Edinburgh Student Union today from 11:30 to 1 p.m. This is Samantha Garza for Vaquero News. As the first month of the decade comes to an end, your New Year's resolutions might too. Victor Rivero reports.
As we approach February, the International Health, Racquet, and Sports Club Association states that 80% of New Year resolutions will be abandoned by February. Assistant Professor of Psychology and Director, Ruby Charak, explains the most common mistakes starting a New Year resolution.
And I think the main errors students at UTRGV can avoid is we need to divide it. What if I face some down? Because there are going to be ups and downs in life, and that's when we lose sight of our goals.
Political science sophomore from UTRGV, Asael Sosa, tells Vaquero Radio he has been able to follow his resolutions by having discipline in his routine.
I followed my last year to start coming to the rec, and I continue it. So I just want to keep it a habit.
From the British Journal of General Practice, whether you try to eat healthier or improve your academic grades, when it comes to resolutions, repetition will help you create long-lasting habits. Assistant Professor of Psychology and Director, Ruby Charak, explains how long it takes to create a habit.
That it takes around 2 months, like 60 days, to actually make something that we are doing into a habit. It takes around 2 months, and those 2 months can be full of struggle.
When it comes to personal habits and following resolutions, only you can change yourself. This is Victor Rivero for Vaquero News. And now, Vaquero Sports.
Luis Rubio gives us an athlete spotlight on UTRGV's men's basketball, Rob McClain.
Rob McClain Jr. is a 6'5" junior transfer from United Tribes Technical College in Bismarck, North Dakota. McClain is originally from Red Lake, Minnesota, a Native American reservation. Yet despite being over 1,700 miles away from home, McClain always finds a way to represent his hometown and his culture as well.
That's the one thing I let everyone know is that, I'm Native American. I'm from the Red Lake Reservation. I represent everybody there. I just don't represent my tribe. I represent all tribes because, there's not a lot of Native athletes out there. So, and not a lot of us make it to Division I.
For McClain, playing at UTRGV is already a huge accomplishment in representing his hometown at the Division I level. However, McClain, like his idol, Pro Football Hall of Famer Jim Thorpe, want to be a role model and inspire other Native American athletes to chase their dreams.
I'm the first male athlete from my hometown to make it Division I. For me, it's just trying to represent Red Lake as best as I can and represent all Native people. For me, my motivation growing up was Jim Thorpe, and that was 1912, 1920 era. So it's been a while since you had genuine Native athletes to look up to, and I want to become that next, Jim Thorpe. I want to be that next role model.
In his first season with UTRGV, McClain is averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds per game, but has already taken a liking to the city of Edinburgh and the greater Rio Grande Valley.
I just like the environment. It didn't this is a big place, but it doesn't feel that big to me. So it doesn't make me feel like, it doesn't make me feel like I stand out. But it also makes me feel, connected to what's happening around here and, getting to know more people and different people. It's a great experience for me.
McClain and UTRGV men's basketball will be back in action at the UTRGV Fieldhouse Saturday, January 25th at 7 p.m. as they will face the 14-6 Aggies of New Mexico State. For more updates and highlights, visit goutrgv.com. For Vaquero Radio, I'm Luis Rubio.
UTRGV's women's basketball defeated Seattle U last Thursday. Luis Rubio gives you a recap just in case you missed it.
Last Thursday, UTRGV women's basketball beat Seattle U 85-81 in an overtime thriller at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. UTRGV was down 10 points with 3:41 left to go in the game. Graduate forward Desiree Berge led the comeback, scoring 8 points. Berge was also held by a Traylon Tyler three-pointer. However, in the big moment, it was junior guard Zane Templeton that hit a three-pointer with 5 seconds left to go to force overtime. Templeton takes us through her thoughts as she hit the shot that sent the game into overtime.
My mentality was, especially y'all don't know, but we had a scout for the other end, and I messed up, and so I'm the reason they got that layup and why we went down. So I just knew that when it came to my hands, I was like, you got to knock this down.
Desiree Berge off the bench had a career night as she led all scorers with 27 points and 7 rebounds, while also going 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Berge talks about the mentality and energy she brings coming off the bench.
Coach always talks about when you're coming off the bench, you have to bring energy. And when Jordan was getting in that foul trouble, she's normally one of our leading scorers, so I knew I had to step up my game a little bit more and bring the energy even more to keep the team up and rally around them.
After the game, head coach Lane Lord was proud of his team's performance and how they were able to stay united despite being down double digits.
They got up by 9, got up by 10, and we answered both of them. Zane with the biggest shot of the year, and a lot of guts. Showed a lot of guts tonight.
The next game for UTRGV women's basketball will be on the road as they will face 6-12 New Mexico State at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, New Mexico. For more updates and highlights, visit goutrgv.com. For Vaquero Radio, I'm Luis Rubio.
For today's weather report. Today, Edinburgh will have a mostly cloudy day, staying in the mid-60s throughout the day. We might see the sun peak out around noon, reaching 70 degrees. As for Brownsville, the forecast will stay in the mid-60s, peaking at 67 degrees, with partly cloudy skies. Overall, a cloudy day in the RGV. We can expect some rain tomorrow, so keep those umbrellas handy. That's it for your daily weather report. We'll see you tomorrow at noon here on Vaquero Radio.
And now, for the latest events on campus.
Today, the Edinburgh Center for Latin American Arts will host a workshop for scholarships and financial aid. You can stop by from noon to 1 p.m. at the Edinburgh Library on the second floor in room 114. For more information, call the center at 956-665-7243. The Texas South College Performing Arts Center presents pianist Manuel Matarita. The entrance is free for the general public. The Costa Rica pianist will perform Latin American dance genres tonight at 7 p.m. For more information or special accommodations, call 956-882-7025.
And that's it for today's newscast. If you have any story ideas, send us an email to radio@utrgv.edu.
And you can find all our stories posted on our Facebook throughout the week. We'll see you next Monday at 9 a.m. here on Vaquero Radio. This is Vaquero News.